Welcome to the second video for Ubuntu for Newbies. This is basically going to cover the installation and setting up of Compiz Fusion. The last video was basically showing you a fresh install and looking around at a few things. This is going to be more of the eye candy type stuff. The next few videos, this is going to cover Compiz. First and foremost thing you got to do, of course, is going to be to install Compiz. Alright, so first you'll need to go to a website. This is probably one of the better websites that I found for this. The website is this right here. Forums, Compiz, view topic. You know, just punch out in your Firefox web browser, and it'll bring you to the Compiz community forums right here. And go ahead and read through all this, and it'll tell you, what you're looking for. You need to use Ubuntu 9.4 through 10.10, and you need to make sure you have 0.8 point whatever. Now, this is how you figure out which version of Compiz you have. Go ahead and open up a terminal. And then you're going to want to copy and paste it in the terminal. And hit enter, and it'll tell you I have 0.8.6, so I have the correct version of Compiz to be able to use this one. If you have other versions of Compiz, like older, it'll tell you here that to go to this link and follow the instructions there. Right here in the red, you'll see this is not recommended to anyone not knowing exactly what they're doing. The truth is, once you install Ubuntu and you're playing around, you're mostly in the playing phase of it, because if you mess anything up, you can always just go back and reinstall Ubuntu, and then start over. That's basically the way I've learned, is just keep doing things, mess up, reinstall, reinstall everything, and then just keep on. The more you learn, the more you go. Whenever they did this, they assume you have a fresh install of Ubuntu. You had the default version of Compiz working, the 0.8 point whatever, that you're running the terminal, and you're running as a user and not root. Now that's kind of important. Root is basically the administrator for the system. You don't want to ever log in as you. You only want to log in as your user and password thing, because there's ways to get around having the administrator be able to install things. That's now the sudo. It means to do it as the root user. So it's better to use the user login rather than root. So you done Compiz Fusion installed by default to Ubuntu, and will run as long as you have video card with appropriate drivers. And that right there is important. Like I said before, you're going to want to have a 3D graphics card to be able to use Compiz and to be able to do the things that the eye candy stuff for it to handle it. I have Raiden HD 2600, which is a 3D graphics card, so I'm good to go. So now I'm going to come on down here to the Get Core. Just you can either hit select all, or you can just click and pull and copy paste here. And it's one thing if you go too fast. And paste and enter. It's going to ask me for my password. Put in my password, and it'll go through the process of making sure that you have everything that you need to first get started. You're only going to use these 3 lines, so next one, just go ahead and go to copy, and we're going to paste it in and enter. Shouldn't ask you for your password because you've already given it once. You only have so much time to do it. So everything looks good there, and then now to actually get the scripts and stuff, copy and paste it in, and it'll go through the whole process. And you'll see it's going to install all this stuff, so you're just going to need this much additional drive space. See the capital Y in the lower end, so you need to put in the capital Y and enter, and now it'll go through the whole process of installing everything. Now this part actually does take a while, so but right now I'm waiting on it to get to the very first stopping point, and show you the which options to use depending on what you want to do. It's going to give you options to just go ahead and install everything without being prompted, or you can install one at a time and then skip the ones you don't want. For a list of different ones that it's going to do, if you scroll all the way, to get to all the way down here, it's, install the plugin, remove the plugins, list of all the plugins available, all the way down, and then you can decide what you want after going through that whole process. And like I said, best thing to do is read the whole page. Down here on the bottom you'll have where people have replied with different problems and how the solutions came about. So if you have any issues, you can always come here. It's a pretty good, comprehensive thing. But to install everything 1, 2, and 3 and be done with it, we're still waiting on the options to come up, so I can show you what it looks like and make sure you understand, so you know how to install this properly. For me, I'm going to install everything because I like to mess with everything. So it's going to take a little while. I might have to fast forward through this part. Alright, now this is the first stopping point. It wants to know if I want to do this anaglyph thing. You'll see where it says ISUAQ. That's what you'll put over here. I is to install, S is to skip it, U is to uninstall it, A is, if you punch in A, it's going to install all remaining plugins without prompting. It's just going to install it. Or you hit Q and don't install anything. If you want to go one by one and pick and choose what you want to do, you use I. If you don't want this one, use S. To uninstall, just hit U. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and hit A because I want it to install everything without prompting me. And this part right here is going to take a very long time. So from here, I'll end up fast forwarding it so that you don't have to waste too much time.